We asked 4 people what they knew about Claudette Colvin. This is how it went.
Hi, I'm Andrew.
My name is Maya.
I'm Evan.
Hi, I'm Miss Davis.
Who is Claudette Colvin?
I have no idea.
I don't really know.
You don't know, okay.
I'm not sure.
Claudette Colvin was born on September 5th, 1939, in a time where most of Alabama was still segregated, and Jim Crow ruled the South, with separate but equal as his doctrine.
Do you know who Rosa Parks is? If so, tell me what you know about her.
I know who she is. I know that she was a very big part of the civil rights movement.
She did not give up her seat to a white man on the bus, and that kind of started a lot of things for the civil rights movement.
She was told to go to the back of the bus, but it says she stood up to the people, the white people told her to go to the back of the bus, and that caused her to be arrested. And my Montgomery bus boycotts.
Claudette Colvin and Rosa Parks are very similar, except Claudette Colvin went first and actually refused to get up from her seat on the bus a lot before Rosa Parks, a few months.
Why do you think Rosa Parks is so much more recognizable if Claudette Colvin did the same thing 9 months before?
I don't know, maybe because she was old. I mean, she could have been older, and maybe there was more people to see her do it.
Maybe it's because Rosa Parks was a lot older than Claudette, and also because just different skin tones and different hairstyles.
Honestly, I think it's just about the way the news spread, and maybe just the events that happens after everything. You know, like Claudette obviously did what she did, and I guess not much happened after that. But when Rosa did her thing, obviously the civil rights movement started, and that made things a lot more popular.
So why do you think you've heard of Rosa Parks if Claudette Colvin did the same thing?
She didn't seem to be as suitable in terms of people wanting her to be the figurehead of the movement and the leader. They thought Rosa Parks, an elderly woman, would be a little less controversial than Claudette Colvin, a 15-year-old girl who got pregnant when she was a teenager. So people thought Rosa Parks would be a much better figure to kind of say, well, this is absolutely absurd. If you're making an elderly woman get up, what's next?
What does this tell you about the civil rights movement?
Well, if they're putting an immature, bad role model, right? And they're saying okay, you're not going to give up your seat, right? But then Rosa Parks, who's not seen as that, does the same thing. People will be like, so yeah, one good person could do that, but then another person who's also African American is immature. Mm-hmm. You know, that kind of shows that we're all kind of equal.
It tells me that they really cared about what people thought of them as or imagined them as. Since they put Rosa on the cover and not Claudette, you know, because she's looked better.
Do you think that's a bad thing? That they were trying to have a better looking figure?
Yes, I do think that's a bad thing because you shouldn't put someone as a symbol of something like the civil rights movement. If you want to prove a point, then putting someone on the magazine cover just because they look better or represent better is not a right way of saying or proving a point.
So you're saying that you don't think when they put Rosa on the thing, you don't think it was an accurate representation because Claudette did the same thing?
Yes. Also, I don't think it was an accurate representation.
So what does this tell you about the civil rights movement?
It tells me that they needed to have a good image. They didn't even though people were standing up for themselves, they care about more how they look to make sure that they get their message across rather than including everybody in the movement, even though they didn't sort of look as good as people think.
So do you think that's a good thing or a bad thing?
I mean, they need a good image or get a message across, but they just sort of cut out somebody who did it before because they didn't look right or they had some bad choices or were lower than others.